If the future is wind-powered, there's one big problem. It's unpredictable. No wind, no power.
But what if you had a source of renewable power that is as predictable as the sun and the moon? Well, that source is right here in the sound between Islay and Jura, where it runs at up to 3 metres per second when there's a spring tide. So strong that the ferry here has to move sideways to navigate the waters. This is one of Scotland's tidal hotspots. Scotland is reckoned to have roughly a quarter of Europe's potential for this source of power. The question is how we're going to harness it.
Is this the answer? Scottish Power thinks so. This turbine's been tested for 4 years off the coast of northern Norway, giving it a vital advantage in the race to the best technology. 30 metres high and at around 10 revs per minute, a safe speed we're told for resident sea life, 10 of these will be anchored off Islay where the tide runs deep and strongest, leaving clearance for surface ships.
The good thing about Sound of Islay is it's sheltered, therefore we can try out installation techniques in a relatively safe environment. But these are the techniques that we will need to use when we go into the more exposed areas.
While the wind power boom has boosted manufacturing elsewhere, much of it in Denmark, there's a promise newly made by Scottish Power that its new tidal equipment will be mainly built somewhere in Scotland.
These 10 turbines will cost of the order of several tens of millions of pounds, so major investment. And the message there is that actually is a huge opportunity. And as we move on to even bigger projects in the future, we're looking at potentially billions of spend in the Scottish economy. So it really is a carrot worth working for.
Renewable energy is almost unique in the energy technologies. The majority of the jobs potential will be in the manufacturing sector. It's not like the oil and gas industry where you have large bespoke projects. Major renewable energy development will rely on multiple deployments of effectively very similar technology in vast numbers. That is really perfect opportunities for the manufacturing industries. I will be very, very disappointed if Scotland does not seize a major proportion of the manufacturing opportunities within this new industry.
10 tidal turbines should generate enough power for Islay's 3,500 residents, with excess output exported to the mainland. They're already pioneers, at least on a small scale, with the world's first commercial wave generator, photovoltaic power on the Gaelic Cultural Centre, and the heat from this distillery heating the next door swimming pool. Islay's best known exporters are keen to sign up for the new green power source in an industry recently criticised for doing too little to combat climate change.
Distillery's been here since 1846, so you can imagine in all those years the guys have been looking out the window at what is a stunning view by anybody's standard. And every day they see the water running past. They can see there's power there, but it's only recently that people have taken an active interest in renewables, in tidal power, and with Scottish Power's plans to bring a tidal generation system on stream just next door, it seemed like a bit of a match made in heaven for us to take our electrical power from that when it comes on stream.
A generation ago, a previous energy boom came to Scotland's Northern Isles. Shetland famously extracted a high price from the oil majors. But with this boom and with onshore wind farms already built and planned elsewhere, the lack of local community benefit on many projects has sounded warnings on Islay. Along with Tiree and Kintyre, their Atlantic horizons are zoned for 3 offshore wind farms on a colossal scale. These Argyll communities are joining forces, knowing they'll have to think smart if the coming energy bonanza off their shores is not to pass them by.
There are examples where communities have been bought off, as it were, by relatively small payments for development of village halls and so on. That cost actually to the development of the project is really minute. In terms of the internal rate of return, it's probably less than 0.1%. I'm saying to corporations, look, don't look upon payoffs to communities as a cost. Look upon it as an investment where both parties are going to get dividends from the added value that comes from working together. And I think that's the core of the message.
Back in the 1980s, Scotland led the world in terms of research for marine renewable energy. Particularly the Wave Power Group here in Edinburgh was a world leader. However, political decisions really saw the funding for that programme cut to zero over a very short period. We've had the occasional deployment of marine technological systems which have failed. There was a major failure in the Pentland Firth way back in the early 90s. But we're now at the situation where there's a growing maturity in the development of the technology.
It feels very exciting in some ways. I mean, I think that the disappointment would be that if in 20 or 30 years' time Islay had not generated significant financial and social benefits from the exploitation of these resources, I personally would feel very disappointed.
We've had new industries that we have pioneered, then other countries have seized a lead. I think currently our lead is very, very significant, and our international competitors would have a major hurdle to overcome to seize the lead from us.
Looking beyond recession towards a different economic future, renewable turbines generate hope for jobs and opportunities. But the experts warn of two threats. One, a lack of confidence, handing Scotland's lead to others. The second, overconfidence, leading to disappointment and pulling the plug if we don't get quick results. Like the maturation for Islay's single malts, this green revolution is going to take patience.